Hello, we're at home today and we're growing some unusual seeds. So stay tuned. At the very end, I'm growing something I'm very excited about, and also we have something that is great for Harry Potter fans if you have one in your house. But we are going to start off with one of my favourite foods, which is edamame beans. Absolutely delicious. So I've got my glamorous assistant. These are the seeds. They look like little beans. See Rosie's little hand, and she's going to pop them in there. We've grown these before. The seeds were quite hard to get hold of. I've had these a couple of years, so I got these from More Veg online. And it's difficult to get any kind of seed at the minute, but we've already had these. Fortunately, we already had our seed supply in for this year, so we've not been scrabbling around looking for seeds. Nearly done. Should be enough for one for each hole. You might have one left over, actually, I'm not sure. You got one left over?
Yeah.
Aha. Look, we have our proper dibber here now. There we go, we'll mark that. Hang on a minute, my darling. There we go, 2.5 centimetres we need for these. So that's those planted. We're not going to cover them up yet because I haven't got a label just yet, and we don't want to forget which side we've put the edamame in. So that's those. I've just taken the paper out of the packet so that the sun isn't reflecting off of the plastic packet. With these, this is a variety that is recommended for the UK, the Edamame bean. It is a soybean, as you can see, and these take rather a long time to germinate. They can take 3 weeks, so you do have to be patient, and they like full sun, and as soon as they're grown, I mean, it can take 75 days for them to grow, so they're a long veg coming, but they're absolutely delicious. You can't eat them raw from the pod, you have to cook them first, but we usually cook them and then freeze a load if there's any left over. They are delicious, so we do eat a lot of them. I recommend them. They're the sort that you can buy from if you maybe go to a Japanese restaurant and you get edamame in pods there to eat, and you can also get them from some supermarkets. They do edamame in pots with their sandwich section, you know, sandwiches and all the lunch bits and pieces. Sometimes you see edamame in pots, so if you like those, I recommend growing some at home. The next thing we are going to grow is watermelon. Now, this packet was sent to me very kindly by my friend Gemma, so hello Gemma, a couple of years ago. They are out of date, but oh no, look, so by 2021, that was packet year end 2018, so by December 2021, so that's good, they're still in date. So what we're going to do, I've already put some holes in the pot and I've got some seeds there for you. My glamorous assistant is back. Popping those in. We're growing 7 plants here. It says so April to May, and we're just at the beginning of April, so we could be a little early, but our conservatory has been taken over with plants, and we've not had any frost here for a while in Kent, where we are. Mini greenhouse, good idea. So I think it's okay. Our last frost date passed a few weeks ago, actually, so we think it's okay to do these. And you never know, we might be drowning in watermelon come the summer. It's a good job we like it, isn't it?
Yes.
Watch this space to see if we have loads. Before we continue on with our sowing seeds, I just wanted to show you, I've just cleared this area this morning I've left some cornflowers just growing there. You can see where I haven't weeded, and there's a weed coming down down the laurel. So I've cleared this to plant our peas along the fence there. We have got peas that we're going to be putting in down the allotment. We still can get down the allotment at the moment, but I'm not sure if that's going to continue or whatever. So I hope that it will continue, that people are going to start being sensible and staying indoors and doing as they are told and not gathering and having parties. Otherwise we'll be on complete lockdown. So so we're growing at home as well, but we've always grown at home a little bit, and now we'll have hopefully twice the produce. All this. What I mostly cleared were these wild strawberries. They're absolutely delicious, and they're spread right across. It was a hard decision to pull them up, but we will be using this bed all the way along a little bit later in the year, so we needed the space right now. The other thing I pulled up from that little bit of bed over there was this purple sprouting broccoli. I was going to leave it a little bit. I've left it for a few days because of the beautiful flowers, and the bees are loving the flowers. And this, there was 5 plants in total, I think, or 4 plants. And these, literally last year we had corn growing all along here, and I had 5 plants left over from the allotment, so I just stuck them in anywhere that they would fit. And the butterflies got to them. The caterpillars completely finished them off. There were no leaves, certainly didn't get any purple sprouting. And then I can't remember if I either wasn't well. I don't think I was well over Christmas, beginning of the year. And of course we had all the rain and we just weren't coming out here. We're only just coming out now to tend the garden. And I noticed, because I'd left these in over winter, there was loads of purple sprouting on them. They were covered. Now, Rose and I picked the purple sprouting that was on here, and we got just under 1 kilo just for some leftover plants that left over from the allotment. So that was really good. So top tip there, leave your broccoli in and leave it in over winter. If the caterpillars have had it through the summer, leave it in over the winter, and then you can get it in the spring before the butterflies are out. And we've just seen a cabbage white today in the back garden, and we've also seen a little yellow butterfly and a little blue one as well. When we were picking these, a small green caterpillar, a tiny little one, fell onto Rose off of the leaf, which made her jump, so we got them just in the nick of time. And also with your purple sprouting, you can eat the leaves on these. You can, they're a thicker leaf like cabbage rather than a thin one. And what I did was I cooked them down, and then I squeezed the water out, and it left, well, it was a bit bigger than golf ball sizes. You know, I just basically squashed them up in my fist, the leaves, and it made like a little ball, and we froze them like that, because if you buy frozen spinach, that's how it comes. So if you were to freeze them as one big lump, then it would be difficult to get them out of the bag when you're wanting to cook with them. So what you do is you freeze them in these balls, and then you just take out 1 or 2 of these little handful sized balls when you need them. Put them in your dish that you're cooking. And now we've got something for our Harry Potter fans. We have a little Harry Potter fan here, and 2 big Harry Potter fans actually in the house. So this is our first clue. This is what we're growing. It's not 2020, it's just called Nimbus. And the second clue, Rose, do you want to show us? They're the seeds. Does anybody know? We saw these a while ago. Weren't intending to buy them, but Rose saw them and said, please, can you buy these? I'd like to grow these. And this is what they are. Tomatoes. So we've got loads of tomato seeds. We weren't intending to buy extra, but I couldn't say no to an enthusiastic little grower who wanted to grow some Harry Potter Nimbus 2020 tomatoes. You might have seen in our other videos that we are growing Samazano too, and we did an experiment with those. So do check out our other videos which show what we did with those to see about germination rates. And I think we're about due an update on those. So we'll do a little video separate to this one to show how they're doing. Anyway, let's get on to planting. So with these, we've labelled the edamame side. Oh, you don't need to dib, darling. You just need to lay these on the surface because they're so tiny. Not many in the packet of this one. There were 15 seeds for $2.99. I think you said there's more than 15 though, didn't you?
There was 19.
There's 19. So make sure they're in the centre of each cell.
I don't know. Got a seed in it.
Let's just move that one over. Yep. So it's got a good chance and is not stuck against the side. Oh. There we go. You hear our birds, aren't they lovely? Have you got more birds where you are? We've got, was it goldfinches?
Yeah.
We've got goldfinches come back. We haven't had them here for years. We do feed the birds here and look after our birds. We have a blue tit family that come every year. We have a blackbird family and we have wood pigeons. And they all nest in our garden every year.
Don't forget the jackdaws.
Well, yes, jackdaws. We have lots of jackdaws here in the village. But we have goldfinches back. And yesterday when we were at the allotment, we saw about 5 birds of prey. Now a lot of people are noticing birds and, you know, maybe they've just got the free time or something like that, but we are people that do pay attention to the birds, so they're definitely new for us here. She's putting in a big sign, a super Harry Potter. Why don't you go and get a little bit of compost? Just get it in that tray, darling. So yes, and also we noticed flying over a big heron. So that was different. There must be around somewhere, but he was hovering around the skies of the allotment for quite some time yesterday. On his way to find a bit of water and some fish, I expect. So when Rose has just given these a very light sprinkling of compost on the top, we will show you the most exciting thing that we are getting ready to plant. Right, Rose is just coming down from her tree. She's a little monkey. And so we're going to show you something I've been looking forward to sowing for a long time now. As I've said before in other videos, Rose is home educated and I'm a STEM ambassador. I teach science to groups of home educated children. And last year we studied DNA. And one of the things we looked at was how the DNA can be manipulated on certain plants. Well, we looked at a particular plant, and this was about an Idaho farmer who was part Cherokee Indian, and he wanted to grow some of the crops from his ancestry. So he got some corn. And he noticed that when he was growing the corn, some of it was particularly bright colours. And what he did, when he harvested the corn, he kept the brightest kernels of corn. And the next year he grew those. And again, he picked the brightest kernels, saved those, dried those, and grew those. And in the end, and you may have seen this because a couple of years ago it went around social media, there was it went viral. They were so lovely, and we managed to get hold of some glass gem corns. What he ended up with, this Idaho farmer, was this wonderful sweet corn. It's actually a corn that you can't eat like sweet corn, but you can use it like popcorn. So we grew some popcorn last year for the first time. We've grown sweet corn before, so we know how to deal with popcorn. And now I've opened the packet, but we've not looked inside. Tip them out, Rose. Oh, look at the colours.
Purple, blue, red.
Wow. Look like a pinky one. Look at all those colours. Really, really... Oops, excuse my hand. Is that going to focus? I should just left them in the tray, shouldn't I? Beautiful seeds. So, Rose, open the other packet. We've got a pair of scissors here. There's, as you can see, there's 20 seeds in each packet. So I've got 2 packets. Let's just move that one out of the way.
We're growing 40.
We are growing 40.
We're going to have loads, and hopefully we're going to do the same.
Oh yeah, we could dry some. Let's have a look. Wow, look at those colours. They're beautiful.
That is a normal one.
Nice bright yellow. Look at all that dirt under her nails. Sign of a good day's digging. Wow, they are beautiful.
Let's plant some.
Yeah. So I've already marked the holes out for Rose.
We're going to need loads of labels.
Well, what we're going to do, we will put them all together because most of our stuff is in trays like this, or they are things like tomatoes which are already grown a few inches. This will be the only plant that hasn't grown yet, doesn't have a label, so we'll know what it is. Famous last words. So with popcorn, last year we grew an actual popcorn. You can't grow it near sweet corn. I'd rather you didn't do it in case you drop some, darling. No, just take the tray with you, okay? I don't want to be hunting them on the floor. What it took me to get these. At vast expense. They weren't that expensive. So yes, so you can't grow popcorn or a harder type of corn, which is what this is. You can't grow that with sweet corn because, as I'm sure you know, sweet corn is wind pollinated, and what will happen is the pollen from the harder corn will affect the sweet corn, and you will end up with a tough cob on your sweet corn. So when we looked up last year, I was about to plant the popcorn with the just next to the sweet corn in our long bed down the allotment, and I thought I'll just have a quick Google, and it said 250 meters was the space you needed to put between them.
And we don't even have that at the allotment.
No, we definitely don't have that much space down the allotment. No, and we didn't want to affect if anyone else was growing sweet corn either. So we grew them at home. We gave them this little bed. So this is what we will plant out in this bed. You see they're 6-foot fence panels. I think they're a bit longer than that actually. So we'll grow them all along there once that's sorted. And also with corn, you grow them in blocks. So instead of growing them in rows, you need, 1, 2, 3, 4. You need to grow them like this. Last year when we did our sweet corn, I think we did 4s like this, which is on our videos. Do we?
A single hole.
You haven't skipped a hole. Wow, we've got extra. So what we will do then, we will just
make extra holes.
Yeah, 1, How many have you got left? 2.
Right now I've got 5.
3.
1 more.
4.
There's
Oh, you need some more. How many have you got left? 3.
Yeah,
I think we're going to need another pot.
we might do.
You go and get one of the pots, darling, and fill that with compost.
Or maybe you could put one there.
I don't want to overcrowd them. I mean, with that size, I only really wanted to put 2, but they won't do too bad. If you go and fill that up.
There's a starling.
There is a starling, yes, squawking away up there. Well spotted. She's getting good at bird spotting. We have some different birds come here in the garden now. I haven't seen them yet. One's made like a really high-pitched single peep. I've no idea what that is. Not heard that one before. And there was another unusual call that I hadn't heard before. Right, so with this pot, we can't fit 3 in that pot, darling.
Just fit 1.
Yeah, put 1 in that pot. Up to the mark.
Oh,
Did you do it up to the mark? Yeah, they're quite big seeds. There we go, my darling.
I'll go and fill some more pots.
Okay. She's a trooper. So here they are. All done, finished, covered and ready to go into the conservatory to start them off. When you're germinating seeds, they need warmth to germinate, and then when they've peeped through, they need light. What makes them go leggy, very tall and thin, is when they're searching for light. So you do need to make sure that your plants, when they have come out, are getting plenty of light. But the conservatory's nice and warm, obviously, at the moment, so they will help to germinate. We've got some things to come out. We've got some peas. We're going to grow up that fence. And I was just thinking what I might do with these, with the sweet corn, this glass gem corn, is I might use a kind of 3 sisters system. And what that is, they do a lot in America. You grow sweet corn and then you plant peas at the bottom of the sweet corn, and that uses the sweet corn plant as its support and grows up the sweet corn. And then also you grow squash underneath, so that's your ground cover, and they grow like that. Now I always thought you couldn't grow like that in the UK. I thought that the corn didn't grow quick enough for the peas to grow up, but if you've got some late peas it might work. And I have heard from people who have made it work successfully in the UK. So we shall see. Especially if we can't get down the allotment, which I'm assuming that we will be able to. But if we can't get to the allotment, I might just pop a few squash underneath anyway. Even if I don't use them for peas, I can certainly do a 2 sisters method. So watch this space and find out. And I always forget to say, but please do like, subscribe and comment. I love your comments. Rose loves your comments. She always asks, anybody commented on our video yet? Particularly like hearing from you, Lorraine. I do like our chats. And yeah, so as usual, stay safe and stay indoors. And stay safe if you have to go out. Take care of yourselves. And we will see you soon. Bye bye.